right. Welcome to welcome to Drip, where drawing really is pain. I am your host, Jolt, and I'm here today with...
I guess I'm Noodle.
You guess?
Today.
We spent like the first 5 minutes of the last episode figuring out what to call you, and you're like, I guess.
Look, things change. Like,
You've changed, bro.
Stuff's going on. I guess I'm Noodle. I might change in the future. Who knows?
We love a noodle that is always evolving.
You can't predict what I'm gonna do next.
Keeps things exciting. Howdy, y'all. Friendly neighborhood ski bop here. I'm tired, but a bitch showed up.
Oh my god, she's so relatable.
Okay, queen, slay.
Keep talking, queen.
Shut the...
Skirt.
Huh?
Skirt.
So,
All right.
y'all are ridiculous.
All right, so today's prompt was to redraw an old OC that's sort of been lying forgotten, that it doesn't really get used much anymore. So I guess I'll just start mine and start talking about it. So I decided to do Al-Harisi, a really old OC of mine that I have not used in years. So I started pulling up the reference. She's like a ice shaman, or no, ice priestess. She has like ice powers. And she's technically relevant in the comic I'm making, but not directly relevant. I don't know. She's in the world.
Wow.
But I also wanted to try something a little different because I've never drawn her like it. So I wanted to go a little bit sinister. Because I've never actually drawn her sinister because she's a fairly upbeat character. And I just wanted to experiment and try something I haven't really done, which is draw sinisterness. Characters in poses that makes them look bad. And that's pretty much what my entire goal was for this. I just didn't have any other preference because obviously the prompt was pretty simple. Where we're just like, draw OC. And I'm like, that's so easy. I have those. But yeah, I wanted to experiment. So she's... Yeah, I did like a little thumbnail because I wasn't sure composition. Fortunately, her hair braid just kind of fell into the background once I eventually got to it, but that's
Like
okay.
that
Yeah, because I was trying to like make it swirl around for like the compositional shit where it like loops back around and pulls your eye back into the center. And then I was like, no. And then I also changed those icicles because I was like, that's going to be hard to draw. So I made little like icicle claws instead.
Icicle claws are cool.
Yeah.
Didn't I draw this character of yours once?
Yeah, a couple times, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, wow, she's pretty cool. I wonder if I've drawn her.
Yeah. But to be fair, like this is like, I like how me and you actually both chose OCs from like that forever ago, like same-ish time period. Just because we just left them there and just didn't bring them forward, really. Because I think yours is technically a little older, but we were both drawing them around a similar time, I think, way back.
Yeah, you're going to have to speak for yourself, because I ended up choosing the character I chose because, yes, she's older, but I've never forgotten her. I love that character.
Well, I know. I mean, you don't, like, forget your OC. Just, like, an old character that is, quote-unquote, forgotten, as in you never use her. That is basically... It's like the Toy Story version of forgotten.
Wow.
Where you're just, like, left on the shelf.
I guess, but I have better OCs for that then.
Yeah.
I actually was telling another friend of ours about, some real old characters. I'm talking like some Ski Bop was freaking 12
like your
or
old
something.
RP days or whatever.
Yeah, from the DA chat days. So anybody who watches this, if you roleplay it on DeviantArt chat, make sure that you go ahead and pick up your social security check.
Oh yeah, I was gonna try sketch painting on this, but then I didn't like how it works, or like how it was like looking. I was like, I'll just do it the normal way, because like the sketch paint is where you just like sketch, color underneath, and then just start painting, and you just paint everything. And I was like, I could do that, but I don't know. I feel like doing like a normal process today.
I mean,
because I was like, with the way I have the lighting set up, that'd be a pain. To not have like clean lines or anything, so I just like immediately back off and just start line sculpting.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I think I was gonna do something similar, but I was like, I want my lines to be simpler.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's drawing really is pain, right? So try to streamline it as much as possible.
Hey, we're on brand.
Hey, yeah.
Yes, but I still need to enjoy it. Is the problem?
Whoa.
It's like
Yeah.
really simple little doodles or whatever. There's like a really soft brush I like using.
Yeah.
Because it builds itself really well onto whatever other strokes you leave for. So
Right.
it makes like cleaning up a sketch with it while still keeping a sketchy look really work in a way that I like.
Yeah.
But it, obviously there's a little bit more that goes into it if coloring comes in.
Yeah,
if
like,
I really want to clean it up. Right?
Absolutely. I mean, to be fair, I kind of get that. Like, everyone like finds a brush that they like and it's just like, this is my favorite thing now. It's just like, this is all I'm gonna use. Because like this stupid like rectangular chalk brush, I literally like exclusively use that for everything. Also, I hated that hand.
Yeah. I'm feeling the pain just watching you go over it.
Yeah, so
That's so Raven moment coming on.
That's so Raven. Dude, that show was so good. I watched the shit out of that show when I was young. And to be fair, calling it good may just be me remembering it from that era, and if I went back, it might not be good.
No, it was good. You remember when Corey tricked Raven into backing it up so she broke like the family vase?
Oh yeah. That was so funny.
Or whatever happened in the fucking like there was like an episode where they had like fast food at their school or something.
Or in the
I
house,
think so.
best anime. Let's go.
Yeah, it was one where like their cafeteria started like serving like basically fast food essentially. Like, so they would always go and get like extra fries and like pizza and shit.
Yeah.
And then everyone started getting fat and they were like, dang. Maybe we should consume in moderation.
Oh my god, it's almost like the American obesity epidemic.
I think it was worse because I feel like at some point, like some weird helium inflation shit happened. Like I remember like Raven had to fly somewhere. Or so it was like the most ridiculous. Like looking back on it, I'm like,
Well, actually, now that you mention that, so you know how like Disney is at fault for like all the furries that exist or whatever. I feel like all of those like teen shows are responsible for all the inflation people that exist. Because like they all had like some gag where you just like
one show that it did it all. There's one that did it all, and it's a problem. It's an issue.
Yeah.
Totally Spies. That's the one.
Oh,
dude. It's an issue.
Yeah, you're right. I actually watched a lot of Totally Spies, though. It was a lot of fun.
What's up with that elbow, dog?
It's whatever, man.
That elbow ain't connecting to the arm.
Sure it is.
It connecting to the top arm, but not to the forearm.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Oh, okay.
Probably. I don't actually know what it looks like anymore.
This bitch got a double jointed elbow.
Yeah. It's actually lore now, where all the characters of this race have that elbow. Yeah.
Thanks.
It's lore.
If it slides out, you just gotta pop that shit back in.
All right, dog. Things are
Easy peasy.
Easy. But yeah, I don't know. It was I don't know how long it took y'all, but I ended up taking way longer than I expected on mine. Just cause like I took around like 6 hours, man.
6 hours?
Yeah.
I think mine was only like in terms of when I was actually working on it, like after editing down the parts where where I was just sitting there not doing shit.
Yeah.
I think mine ended up being a little under like 20 minutes, a little under, and I was like, oh, okay, so I was right. I actually do draw quickly if I don't fuck around.
Yeah. I ended up taking like so much more time because I ended up going with like the, I don't even know what to call it, like that like paint style I do, where it's like the like a splash page kind of a thing. Because I was like, oh, I'll do clean lines, which also takes a lot longer.
Yeah.
Because if I'd have just done the sketch paint version, it actually probably would have taken me much less time. But I was like, I'm here to practice. Why not? Also,
Very
don't.
good. No,
I was just gonna say, don't pay attention to the straps because one of them is overlapping the other one in the wrong direction.
I mean, I
That's
know
right,
that
but you-
it's no big deal. I thought that the fact that you gave them like realistic enough detail where it's like, oh, that one's actually going under there and then looping around. Oh, I thought that was pretty cool. It's nice. It's a nice touch.
All right, cool. Yeah, as long as my hyper detail hides my mistakes, then it's all good.
You know,
I mean, hey, that was rule number 3, right?
Yeah.
Oh, did we talk about that on the previous episode or not? Our 3 magic rules.
No.
Or sorry, that technically that one's rule number 2, but rule number 1, cover that shit with some other shit.
Facts.
Rule number 2, completely like over render or over detail so nobody notices the flaws in your fundamentals.
Yeah.
And then number 3, flip the canvas and fix it, you coward.
Yeah.
Those are the 3 rules to making aesthetic or appealing art.
Essentially, it's what every artist does.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know how to draw a left hand, just have them have the hand behind their body.
Yeah, cover that shit with some other shit.
It don't exist if they don't see it.
Number 2 is basically just take the part of your art that isn't good and then freak it.
And then freak it. Let's go.
Like, literally, it's like, yeah, these boobs are lopsided, but if I just make them really shiny,
then nobody's going to care.
They're boobs. No one's going to pay attention.
Also, it's funny because I'm actually not even sure if this was Alharizi's most recent design. This was just the one I found. Because I think I redesigned her hair to have, like, a different braid pattern. And then, like, I swear I remember doing that, but I didn't, on a very cursory look, because I didn't actually, like, dig very deep to find any Alharizi stuff. I just, like, cursory looked, and I was like, okay, here's a bunch of references from my, like, 30-day challenge I did with her.
Nice.
Oh, that's what this braid is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Because I was like, what is you doing?
Yeah. That's my favorite way to draw braids. It's actually kind of fun.
I gave my character a braid and then I freaked it.
Ooh. but yeah, so she had totally had completely different hair, I think, by the time I finished, like, the last time I drew her. But this is, I think, even older design, but I'll redesign her later. There were so many things that I was like, oh, I would definitely not design it like this anymore. And I was like, stop, it's not redesign in old C, it's draw in old C.
Right. Also, I'm gonna need to teach you about braids because that looks more like a headband. That is a braid.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I also don't really, like I said, I never actually like figured out what her hair actually does. I was just like, there's like a braid here, I think.
Possibly.
I was like,
I'm a big fan of this fucking villain Alharizi.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was like. I want to make her sinister. Well, to be fair, because that was actually my original plan. Because she's in the same world, I was like, oh, I have to put her in, right? And I was like, how do I put her in? I was like, well, she should be
evil,
bad. And then I was like,
evil.
Even though it just absolutely does not fit her character, so I came up with so many writing excuses as to why, like the typical, like, oh, they think that they're at odds, but they're actually totally on the same side, and then they realize it too later, like that nonsense. And I was like, that's dumb, and so I just don't include her anymore. But she still just exists out there, you know.
She could still be a good person, but whatever she needs is at odds with something the group needs at that time.
Yeah.
Which still doesn't necessarily make her evil, but you know.
I also fudged these braids a lot. But hey, it works.
Yeah.
It looks good enough. And like I said, this one also just fell into the background anyway.
Damn, he didn't freak it.
I did not.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, also, I didn't label any of my layers, so I was like, oh, fuck.
Oh, Lord. Do we need to add that as an optional rule? Like a 0.5 rule?
Like, bro, just label your layers. You'll thank yourself later.
That's a whole rule in itself. Label your shit, dog.
It's either use less layers so that you know what the hell you're doing and don't get confused, or at least give them something.
Yeah,
C for color, M for alphabetical.
Yeah, so dude, I spent like 20 minutes just organizing my layers.
I made a dozen layers and then I freaked it. Like it's too much.
But yeah, so that's what I was doing there. That's why I was all flashing. To be fair, my original plan didn't require me to label them, which is why, because remember I was gonna like paint sketch where I just painted all over, which is one layer. So that was just me changing my mind and regretting it later. Darman video. Guy changes his art plan and regrets it.
But also, bad guy bad?
Evil.
Gosh, anytime someone says evil, I immediately think of Mermaid Man.
Yeah. Evil!
Without fail.
It's just so perfect. He did such a good ass job.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's the fighter of evil. Oh, yeah, this is also something I was trying to do, is because I was trying to do like effectively an ambient occlusion pass before I did like actual lighting source.
Girl, can you speak English?
Ambient occlusion is just the like, you know, when two things are close together, they start to like throw shadows on each other.
Yeah.
So that's just like a very basic shading pass before I do any actual like lighting.
Damn, bitch, why didn't you say that? We ain't in Art Academy.
Ambient occlusion is the term.
Is that gonna be on a test?
It's not even an art term. It's an atmosphere term.
Well, I don't live in the atmosphere. Shut up.
Oh, I forgot you were in like a Mars.
Test, bro. Like, I'm not trying to study, bro.
Right, I'm saying.
We're trying to make you study, all right?
I'm trying to kind of like, I ain't trying to study.
Yo, next prompt, study. Checkmate.
My weakness.
The next episode, just like, so there's no more drip squad because the other kids did not want to fucking
They decided to quit because I made them study.
Yeah, this is the last episode.
Listen, I didn't graduate college to study some other shit.
Yeah, I didn't graduate so that I could keep studying. Dude, that's the same energy as like, I constantly use it in like the fighting game group. Where I'm just like, yo, I didn't pay $60 to block. I'm out here swinging.
Now that's valid.
That is completely valid.
Whoa, a snowflake.
Yeah.
Is that the liberal agenda?
Oh, that's Al-Harisi's sinister plan to take over the Republican government.
Is that the Fire Emblem?
No, it's ice. Stupid.
No, it's the ice emblem.
Fire Emblem. Look at it. Just look at it, bro.
But it's an ice.
It's an ice emblem.
Fire if it's an ice.
Yeah.
It's a fire emblem. It's just gotta be an emblem. It ain't really gotta be a fire emblem. Come on.
Oh, so are you a stupid emblem? Because you're stupid.
I regret this stupid.
You're like, I regret this trait of thought. Please excuse me.
I am a stupid emblem. I'm the stupidest, the dumbest emblem.
That's okay. You're my favorite stupid emblem.
Oh, bet.
Yay, we like the stupid Noodle. Never get smarter, Noodle. We like you like this.
No bets.
Oh, yeah.
Probably might not.
Mm-hmm. Definitely looking good because you're continuing to sculpt away at it. Yeah. No wonder you're stronger. I was like, I don't know how to paint, so I don't know what the hell they want from me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, to be fair, yeah, I was like, I'm not expecting y'all to like paint. But, like,
oh, good, because I was like, I'm not going to. Like,
just whatever your version of like a completed piece with everything that like you would want to do on something would be. It's technically. Technically, because like I technically my quote unquote all out piece would be like this, where it's like everything. Just because I also have a relatively painterly style anyway.
Valid. Also, I didn't know we were supposed to go fully all out either. I would have taken at least a little bit longer.
But every single time I described the damn thing, I was talking, do everything, all this, line shading, background, whatever.
Just keep every single time you explain.
No, it's the same description every time. I was like, do a full piece, like finished,
I mean,
full piece? Finished?
It's still.
I know it's hard because you'll never do that. But don't worry, I never do that either.
What? You need to understand, man. The recording would have been so much longer because it would have been me like staring at a million references to actually try to think of an actual background and then finally decide on how I was going to color it.
Well, that's fine. That's why we speed it up to 20 minutes. Mine is 6 hours.
No.
Just sped it up.
No, it's more than speed it up. Like I had to go in and trim parts, or like my mouse was just sitting there for like 25 minutes because I just was distracted or trying to look at a reference or something. It's just a lot.
Hey, no, that's a part of the process, That's fine.
Fuck all that. I just freaked it.
There you go. Me and Noodle twerking in the background.
Yeah, dude, I always have so much trouble with like ice and water if I want to like actually render it though. Like those little ice fingers, they look fine, but I just shaded them like I would a gemstone.
I mean, that's what ice is. It's a crystal.
Oh, I guess that's fair, actually.
Ice is just crunchy water.
You know what? You're right.
He's right, but did he need to say it?
No, he didn't.
Water with
water crunch. All right, so I pretty much finished. I added some tilt. I put a Dutch angle on it. Because that's what I do, and then I finished it.
Tilted?
Yeah. So that's what I did.
That's what I call poggers, baby.
Yeah. Also, it actually felt good because like I don't often like get to actually do like a full thing. Because I think the last one that I like, because to be fair, even like some of the more recent ones that I've been done, and I'm like, yeah, I'm really happy with this. I actually just, to be fair, I didn't do it on this one either, but I typically overpaint to like get like the full finished like details and like smoothness, but like even this one I didn't, I'm gonna be honest.
No, it's no worries.
But dude, like I'm actually kind of happy with this one, and Al-Harisi deserved the love. But yeah, see, look, like the hair is invisible. Nobody will look at my terrible braids back there.
That's what you gotta do, baby.
I covered that shit with some other shit. Look at the swirlies.
Rule number 1.
All right, so next up should be the Noodle Meister.
Why you gotta add Meister?
Noodle Meister.
What, you don't want to be the Meister?
No. What I do to earn the Meister? What I do to that?
What, you don't want to be the Meister?
I didn't say all that. I just
you didn't say you don't want to be the Meister.
You got a spirit weapon, and now you're hunting whatever they hunt in Soul Eater. That's what you did.
Goons? That's
right.
what they hunt in Soul Eater?
Right, they were called Meisters, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so who petitioning to be my weapon, bro?
I ain't doing that.
I'll be your chakrams.
Man, I love those. Let's go.
Yo, chakrams are hype. I'm glad you like them.
I do.
All right, so are you ready, Noodle?
Right. Yes.
All right, 3, 2.
All right, so this character that I chosen, it was actually a character that is not really, I'll say, old, but one that get used every so often. So I was just like, I'll use her. Why not?
So just forgotten, not old.
Yeah. Well, that's a lot of my OCs. It's just forgotten, really.
Yeah, you never like post any drawings or anything, so we never get to see any of your OCs.
I don't draw. Who the fuck I look like?
Hey, you know what? Fair enough.
Y'all thought I was joking when I said I would draw. Okay.
You know what? Fair enough. You got me on that.
But yeah, it's like See, like I said, like y'all over here trying to get all this fancy schmancy shit. Nah, fuck that. I just freaked the shit. I just said I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, and that's gonna be it.
All right, fair enough.
And
again, whatever you think is finished, dog.
And of course, like given this is just what I see this as is kind of like working to get better,
mm-hmm.
and working better to improve. I was like,
fair. Yeah. That is why we like do the piece to completion or whatever, so that we can get better at every step.
Yeah.
Because it's like if I'm trying to like speed run a game and all I do is just restart on the first level, I'm only good at the first level, right?
But what if the
so
last
it's like
level
you got to
is
do finished pieces every so often.
Oh yeah, of course. But then I was also thinking like, this is too much. Like I can't do this. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
That's okay.
I'm a cardboard box in a plastic box world. I don't know what I'm doing. So I was just like, whatever happens, happens. Like I'm gonna accept whatever I end up with. And also, we ain't there yet, but I don't know how to fucking color, so I just did that.
Dude, it's so weird to me that coloring is like the one thing I understand deeply naturally for some reason. Because like, why do I? Because I'm colorblind. Why do I got that in my brain?
No, it's like when it's like with like Daredevil, you lose your sight, your other senses are enhanced.
Oh, so
it's like that.
So I have no vision color, so my brain is like, I understand.
You have more capability to understand coloring because you're colorblind. See, that's how that works.
Okay, I'm the artist Daredevil.
That tracks.
Fair enough. Oh, what's this character's name, by the way?
Fairfax.
Fairfax.
Yeah.
They a witch?
Yes.
Nice. I like
I
witches.
do this character too.
Yeah. See?
Oh, Ski's drawing this character as well?
Yup.
Ooh. Is it like a D&D character or something?
Nah, it's just a character that back in my DeviantArt days, I decided I wanted. So I got him.
Oh, so this was like an adopt or something?
And then I was like, I really like this character. And that came with like another character, quotations around that.
Oh, you got like a package deal?
It was like this is actually just two characters, but the Fairfax is the main one. The other ones just exist.
In a cruel test of irony, I think I actually painted Fairfax when I drew it.
Yeah. Wow. I really like sketches art of Fairfax. Like it
I just really like sketches. Nice. I don't need to like her art.
I didn't say I didn't like sketches too.
No, you said it too late. You only like her art.
Oh, fuck.
Man, I can't believe I was befriended just
cut that from the record. That's not true.
Strike that from the record.
That's cap.
In an even crueler twist of irony, Noodle befriended me to get art, but I don't draw.
Oh no!
Oh
shit! So now you're just stuck with personality.
Fuck. Why did I do this to myself?
Now I get to twerk victoriously.
I'm gonna twerk anyway. But
like, bro, how did you draw poofy sleeves like that? What the fuck?
I just did the thing, dog. I just did the thing, bro.
Man, that's not fair, dude. I'm so bad at sleeves.
Because my main thing was like, I want this to look right, but then a little voice in my head was just like, fuck it, bro. Dude,
fuck that voice. Just follow the rules. The voice is like, I want it to look good. You're just like, hey, I'm gonna cover that shit.
like a little voice in my head while I was doing this, I was like, I'm gonna make it look right. I'm gonna make it look good. But a little voice in my head was just like, the fuck you doing? Fuck it, bro. Like,
it's like, what you mean? Well, to be fair, you draw anything with enough confidence, the audience is going to be like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. But then I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna do this thing. I'm gonna do this thing.
I'm gonna do it today.
And then I freaked it.
Oh.
There it is. There we go. I did a Fairfax back in the day. Posted.
Oh yeah, I fucked up my hand too.
Oh yeah, Ski did a little painty Fairfax. Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty. Ain't she pretty? Oh, ain't she pretty?
You know how I would describe her is purdy.
She pretty.
I mean, we can only see part of her face. But she's actually really ugly.
Nah. It's the hair over the eyes. That's the whole appeal. That's the whole appeal.
Well, to be fair, I also am a fan of just nose and mouth character.
it's like maximum appeal.
Yeah, that was technically a character I also considered for drawing this one. I have a character that just wears like a headpiece that covers their eyes because they're blind.
I remember that character.
Yeah. That was one I considered, just because I don't draw them very often.
Yeah.
Any of those vampire characters.
Oh, vampires.
Yeah, it was going to be like a sitcom comedy. Where it's just like vampire stuff. But like Toy Story.
I also did not label any of my layers, but I knew where all my shit
God,
was.
dude, there's so many. Why?
Because like the way I work is like if I'm gonna do like just sketching, I'm just gonna make a shit ton of layers and then have each layer be something different.
Okay, I got you. But like, damn, bro. I was like, bro, you're only sketching lines. Why do you got like 30 layers?
Because it's not just one project. I keep all my projects together, bro.
Everything all in the same document.
And see, I was gonna do the obligatory flipping the bird, but I was like, let me not do that. I don't know how to draw that.
You're like, oh, I'm gonna do it in like a specific hand gesture, and then you're like, wait a minute.
It's like, wait a minute, I have to know how to draw.
You're like, I have to know how to draw hands to do that.
Yeah.
I was hoisted by my own petard in that one too.
And I was like, I fucked up this hand, but I ain't gonna fix it. Like, But that other hand, I like how I did it. The peace sign, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna keep it.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Is she like a... Oh, no, she does have 4 fingers in the other one. Okay. I thought she was about to be like a cartoon character that only has like 4 fingers.
No, she has the adequate amount of fingers. I'm just dumb.
Okay, I got you.
Is this sped up?
Yeah.
Yes.
It don't look like it.
I know.
Did you put it at a 2x?
3x.
Huh? Nani?
Listen, the file I was handed...
I break the laws of time, all right? Like, you can't stop me.
The file I was handed was an hour long.
Yes.
So I was like, bro, this ain't gonna look very fast. But yeah, we could pretend it's one-time speed and Noodle just draws this fast.
That works for me.
No, fuck it.
Oh, God.
This is what I get. Also,
dude, the opacity coloring.
Like, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this. And I was like, hold on.
Yeah, you're inflicting pain on yourself.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. That didn't work. Didn't work.
Being overly experimental.
Yeah.
But hey.
Like, experimenting is good.
Yeah.
But this is overly experimental.
Yeah, you don't want to go too far at any given time, right?
Not when you're recording a video. A little experimenting
this is
fine,
literally what made it longer. This is literally what made it longer.
You're drawing over your lines?
Yes.
On purpose?
Yes.
It don't look on purpose.
Well, of course it was sketches. What do you mean?
Because the lines aren't looking better with the color over them. Normally, when you do it on purpose, it adds to it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Yes, right.
Yeah. I'm not disagreeing.
Yeah, also, I would recommend if you're going to color, use a full opacity brush.
You know what? You might have been right.
Because the way you're doing it right now, there's a reason why you're getting like that weird overlap where it's like, oh, this one's darker in color. It's just because you're Yeah, you like do full color like opacity. That way also the color you select is the actual color you're putting down.
Right.
But just one of those like, you know, quality of life things that might help you down the line.
I'm probably gonna forget and make the same mistake over again.
Yeah, and if you want to do it over the top, just set your layer to multiply. That way all your lines will still come through.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, now I know.
So you can color over the top and then just set it to multiply, and then all the lines will show up. Dude, that is the most like, fuck it, bro. I have no idea what's going on.
That was exactly what was going through my head. It's like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
I'm just
fuck it, bro.
Been there, man. Been there. That's when I take a break and
I'll like, fix it in post.
I'll fix it in post. But okay, that's like when you get like that moment. That's when you just like, okay, hold on. I'm just gonna walk for a bit. I'm just gonna step away, and I'm gonna come back later.
Because I repeat, I do not know what I'm doing.
Yeah. All right. So you can either, if you want the colors on top, you can set the layer to multiply, or you could just move the layer underneath the line art. And then it's just underneath them. So your lines don't disappear.
I did that later.
Okay, cool. I was like, damn, bro, you really don't know that much? Like,
yeah.
Like, it's okay.
I'm an actual fool, bro.
Damn, Alexa, play Bakamitai.
Well, you said we doing this to learn? Like, I took that shit serious.
And I took that person.
Well, to be fair, it's okay to record all of the experimental or like weird shit, because that's the point of the recording, is when you're recording the experiment, right? Yeah. It'd be like if Frankenstein didn't take any of his notes until he made the monster.
Like I forgot.
Oh, did you just restart all the color?
No, I was like, you know what? I'm going to try this instead. And then this is what I ended up with.
Ah, I gotcha. I was confused. I was like, wait, where'd all the color go?
It'll come back. Give it time. It'll come back.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was like, at some point, I was just like, you know what? Details? I don't know her. Who's that?
Details, never heard of him.
Never heard of him. See, I told you. The color comes back.
All right, yeah.
It always comes back.
Very, very like pastel right now.
that was not what I was going for, but I was like, you know what? Fuck it.
To be fair, that is typically what happens when you use like a low opacity.
It's like when I was doing it, I was like, this is not what I wanted, but I kind of like it though.
Yeah.
And that was it. That was fine. That was the whole discussion.
that was the whole idea.
That was it. I was like, I'm gonna just do it. I'm gonna just freak this shit, and I did. I just did it.
Maybe we get it done, you know?
Yeah, for better or worse.
Because the coloring is literally what made it an hour long. Like, I'm serious. Everything else,
I like try several times. Oh, you did all of your colors on the same layer, didn't you?
Yeah, and then I didn't realize.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh, let me clean up the lines, and then you're like, oh. And this is where if you did it all in one opacity, it'd be perfect, because then you could just color drop the top one and just paint it over the.
But I was like.
But since it's all like 10% or some shit,
and I was like, I didn't change the layer, did I?
No.
But fuck it, we're just gonna keep going.
Well, you got like 30 layers and all the colors on the same layer.
Because I usually like to split it up, you know, because it's like I'll have color on one layer and then a line art on one layer, and if I want to add details, I'll just
sketch on 15 layers, and then
yeah.
All right.
Well, no, I sketch on one layer. I just add more layers depending on if I want to add more stuff. But if I forget where something is, then I'm fucked. But usually I can keep track of what's where.
Mm-hmm. Is there like a texture going on here?
I don't know. I don't know, bro.
I don't know why, but it like looks kind of watercolory. like the like the watercolor paper texture that a lot of people do.
I think it was just the brush I was using.
Okay,
and
that
then I
might
was
be it,
just
because I
like,
was like, what? Suddenly there's texture.
I was like, we're just gonna keep it.
Hey, yo, then
We're
you know
just
what?
gonna keep it.
That's the advantage of brushes, right? They just like automatically like fix things for you.
Cover your shit with other shit. We're just gonna keep it.
Yeah, put a texture on it. You know what? That makes it look good. You're just
And
like,
then
yeah.
also, this is not applied to the current speed paint or just paint in my case, but I was trying to get the image for this shit right,
Mm-hmm.
and then Discord decided, "Whoa, dog, you got too much dip on your shit, bro." And I was like, "Man, how am I gonna fuck it? I'll just snip it. I'll snip it and call it a fucking day."
That's what you did. That's so funny.
I was not having it. I was not going to argue with this drawing program. And then I also tried shading, as you can tell.
Yeah.
But like,
It looks
I don't know
good
what
so
the fuck
far.
I'm doing.
I mean, you just kind of put shadows wherever you want, and then like hopefully it works out, right?
I don't follow no rules.
Yeah, light source, schmite, schmorse.
This is a pure chaos run. You feel me?
I mean, it looked good though.
Thank you.
Lights or schmite source. Story of my life.
Yeah, you can quote me on that. Dude, I love that I said that, but I actually did do a light source on mine.
You went all out. I, however, did not.
Yeah, to be fair, I normally don't do a light source, but I just happened to for this episode.
Oh, what?
Ah,
I mean,
right,
I tried to
skin.
keep a vague idea of a light
Yeah,
source.
like
in
a
mind.
general idea, but not like direct, you know?
Well, yeah, it makes the picture feel more cohesive. Like, even if you do very minimal lighting and shading, at least having it be consistent in its application
makes it feel like the consistency of like everything feels like that hand feels like it's in the same place as the head because they both have the same shading or like the same source or whatever. So yeah, I totally feel that.
I just put them shits there and then was like, you know what? I did it and we're here now.
Fair enough. I mean, this looks good though.
It's like I don't hate what I made. You know, that's contrary to popular belief.
Hey, that's good. We like it when we don't hate.
Because normally when I draw, I'm like, oh, fuck, I hate this. Why am I doing this? And then, but this, I was just like, okay,
it's good.
it's okay. And then I did this because I was like, background, who that bitch? And it's like,
hey, you know what? A colored square is a totally valid background, or a colored whatever, you know.
I agree.
Like, we finna do this shit, and then I was like, here we go.
And then now you're also being hoisted by your own petard again, by the way, because you did low opacity colors.
Yes, and then I was like, what the? And then,
you're just like, wait, why is it getting so dark on the actual color? Because they're absorbing the white from the background because they're not like opaque.
Everything you said was going through my head, and I was
funny.
like, "Yeah."
And then you're like, "Yeah, hey, I did stuff."
Yeah, I did it. Like that's what I ended up with because I had the snippet instead of posting the actual thing.
Right? Yeah, that's what you're saying. You couldn't figure out how to save it. Hey, man, you know what? That's good enough.
Hey, yo, Noodle.
Yeah, what's up?
Can you ask Fairfax if I can borrow that hat?
Of course.
Cool. I'm gonna draw Aristide wearing that hat.
But
cute.
Anytime someone has a character with a cool hat, I'm just like, I'm gonna draw my squirrel in a hat.
Mine.
Dude, I've been thinking so hard lately of like, man, I should just give more characters cool hats.
Yes,
dude, like hats are just cool.
Cool hat.
Hats are in fact very cool.
Cool hat.
Yeah. But yeah, okay.
It's like every episode, our OCs have different hats.
Dude, that would be so much work. Come up with a new hat every episode.
It's like, yeah, so
here's the thing, I could. I can do
It's
it.
like, so what's with you guys changing hats? It's like it's a thing that we're just doing. It's like
It's called fashion whore. Have you not heard of it?
it's called
Yeah. And to be fair, I mean, I am designing a character right now that wears like the straw cowboy hats.
Poggers, yeah.
Yeah, so she's gonna be wearing that.
Oh,
Okay.
well, howdy, darling.
All right,
Wait,
so
what
next
did
up
he say?
is the ski.
Yes. All right. Everybody.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right,
Everybody, clap your hands.
2.
Okay, so here you're going to watch me cry over not being able to put lines and circles on a circle.
Oh, dude. That's
yeah.
the story. Dude, anytime you like start out with like a structure and you're just like, I can't do this.
Absolutely. The struggle is real. So the character that I decided to draw is a character very important in my heart. Her name is Marinee, and she was made back when I used to be like a Bleach role player. And she is like a captain of Squad 2 or whatever, and she's all cool and stoic or whatever. You see, I wrote story time there because at the time I stopped what I was doing to tell the people who I was hanging out with a story. And I wrote that so that I would remember to edit out the dead space of me not doing anything for the 20-minute story.
No,
Well,
it's on brand. It's on brand.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, listen, don't worry about it.
It's story time
It
right
will
now.
be taken care of. Yeah, absolutely. And just letting people know what's up.
Just reminding us,
Totally. Also, don't worry about the happy Korean blokes in the right. I just needed it for a reference, and then I forgot to delete it. But
Yeah,
don't worry
I
about
was like, huh, that is not the pose that is going on right now.
Well,
Nor is it the facial structure.
Well, if you remember, I used to have the orcs at work over there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Which I actually had the orcs at work because I just liked looking at them. And then I lost the picture, and it made me sad. Then I just started using the reference area for a reference.
Wow.
Anyway,
fair
so
enough.
my typical process is that I will just make, I build the character's form from shapes. That helps me to make sure that the character in the 3D space I'm envisioning them in stays consistent-ish.
Yeah, well, and especially because like you need it because you chose like a hand foreshortening towards the camera pose.
I thought the pose was cool.
No, it is a cool
also,
pose, but
nobody
like, you need that shit to like know what's going on and make it right.
Definitely. And like nobody can see it because I have 2 monitors. So the pose is actually up on the other monitor. That's why I'm like,
So you had the pose in the other one instead of the reference box.
I like to see it bigger.
You know what? Fair enough. I can't even argue. I typically do that.
And then Ski freaked it.
Period. But yeah, so first I go over the sketch, and I've started doing this technique where I try and actually clean the sketch up with another slightly faster sketch.
Like a clean sketch layer?
Yes.
Ah.
And I actually really like doing that. The problem is I haven't done it in a while. So when I was doing a lot of my Hades style inspired pictures, that was something that really, really helped me because I would do a bunch of really fast, rapid sketches to get like a thumbnail down, and then I'd pick, and then I would clean it up after that with a nicer sketch and then go over that with actual lines. Or if I liked the sketch enough, I would just keep those as the lines. So in this, you will very shortly see that I absolutely fuck up making the cleaner sketch look better. I end up not keeping these lines.
Dude, that's always the struggle where you're like, all right, sketch got the energy, we're good to go. And then like your next version of it does not have the energy.
No, definitely.
Or like, and you're just like, oh, fuck.
Family Guy knocked out pose. I did that.
Yo, that's me. It's like me for real.
But yeah, absolutely. So like, I mean, as you can see, like the face, it doesn't have the same, energy in the face. The eye's a little too big. And I was like, now something's not right about this. Also, there you can see me struggling to do lines because I'm just that bad at drawing.
Yo, no, it'd be like
we got there eventually. We got there eventually.
You do have that like just redraw the line until you nail it the one time version or whatever, right?
Yeah, that's because I decided to use the pen brush. So if you actually look down at the little Fire Alpaca brushes here, and yes, everybody, I use Fire Alpaca. I have Clip Studio Paint, but don't fucking worry about it, all right? I'm grown. I do whatever the fuck I want. So anyway.
Yeah.
How about y'all mind your own business, huh?
Oh, I would also like to mention I shelled out the extra dough to get like the expensive version of Clip Studio.
Yeah,
so
I
I
know.
have all the features.
That's
And
why I was
just
like,
look at
damn,
it.
okay.
I look at the Clip Studio application. I go, I should use it today. Clicks on File Pack anyway.
Yeah.
Nah.
To be fair, that was also me with Krita, right? Like I was like, oh yeah, dude, Krita's so good. I should learn how to use Krita. It's got animation features, like all this. And then I'm just like, cool, Photoshop, welcome back.
You just gotta, you just go with what's comfortable, man.
Yeah, especially when you're like, when the piece is experimental, you're just like, bro, I can't experiment with a program.
No new friend.
Yeah, you're like, program on top of that? No.
Absolutely. But yeah, normally the watercolor brush that you see just below airbrush, that's the one I normally will use when I'm doing more of like a sketchy or a quick style. But I wanted to do a little bit more of a kind of a callback to the more detailed line illustrations I used to do. But I realized that would also make coloring it a bit tougher. So in the end, I did go simpler with the lines. So yes, I should have just done watercolor, but don't worry about it. All right. Like, we're all just, I'm trying to get back into the groove.
You know what? You're just trying to make the show true to title.
Yeah.
You're just trying to inflict pain upon yourself.
Shit, I'm not even trying. I'm just doing it, which is even worse.
That is my natural state, actually.
It's even worse. But yeah, so for those familiar with Bleach, they can probably tell that, she's got on her captain's robes, and whatnot. Very kind of like no nonsense character. I remember I always thought it was funny that people thought Narine was cool because I guess she was or whatever, but I just never expected people to think my OCs were cool.
Oh, you just never expected them to actually agree. You're like, I made a cool character, and somebody else would be like, yeah, that is a cool character, and you're like,
no, literally, I was like, surprised.
They're like, you also think it's cool? I thought I was just making it because I thought it was cool.
Well, no, I was like, I just think that Squad 2 is cool because they've got the ninjas, so I want to make the ninja one. And then people are like, oh wow, this character's cool.
Hey, ninjas are cool.
They are. Just I remember so many people wanted to fucking date my OC, and I was like, no, leave her alone. Damn.
Well, it was what was it like DeviantArt chat? You said?
Yeah.
I mean, that's to be expected.
The Wild West. For anyone wondering, also, this is another coloring technique. Obviously, not everybody has to use it, but what I personally like to do is do a fill of some neutral color that is going to be prominent in the piece, and I fill that for the entire illustration, at least of the main thing in the forefront. Then I protect alpha or lock pixels, whatever it is for your program, and that way I can just kind of experimentally go over the colors in that main thing. You'll also see that I put an extra layer there just for the black parts, and that's because I wasn't sure if I would keep them that way or if I would slightly change them. In the end, though, I ended up thinking it looked fine, so obviously they're just going to stay there.
That's definitely the best way I've found as well. You just fill bucket and keep it and just recolor it however you want from that. It's so good.
Labeling your layers. None of us.
I only have 3 layers.
Yeah, I was like, to be fair, she doesn't have too many yet.
Yeah, my thing is either have less layers or label them. I have less. I'm going to add a couple more at the end, but they're all just for adding an additional, coloring or shading or highlighting or whatever the hell to the main, colored portion of the character. So that's why I was like, that's whatever.
Yeah, it's fine.
My shit's organized. I know what I'm doing, bitch. You need to know what you're doing.
I know what
I do. Stay in your lane.
Get off my side, bro. I know what I'm doing.
My lane.
Yeah, to be fair, mine only happens whenever I'm doing a bunch of colors, because I like to do color separate layers. But everything else is honestly all my lines, all of my overpaint, all of my everything. It's only colors that are massively everywhere.
Absolutely. I get that.
Lines, sketching, 1 layer. Colors, every layer.
Colors, I got about 15. How many colors are there? I got 2 layers for each.
All the colors, all the layers.
Yeah.
But yeah, some who are watching might have noticed that at some point, I was kind of changing what I was going to do with the face before I eventually defaulted back to this. I ended up deciding I really liked going with a very saturated look for the skin instead of going a little bit more normal in the standard human range of brown. because I realized like if I'm going to keep the outfit dark, it's good to have something that contrasts better than just like her whitish, platinum blondish hair and the
look at you coloring that Terminator. Let's go.
Lamau, yes.
Also, yes, it's called a Terminator, apparently.
What?
I found that out. Yeah, like the line between your like shading and your like normal color. That's the line where like gradates into each other or whatever is called a Terminator, apparently. It's like that zone where everything kind of like grays down a bit.
Oh. I just thought it looked cool.
No, you're absolutely correct though. Like, to be fair, you are like saturating or like coloring that particular area actually adds a lot of life to the piece. It's just one of those like secret techniques that like will immediately bump your art to better.
Well, remember this, gamers. We have now learned about the Terminator, but not the old movies.
Yeah, not the Terminator, but instead the Terminator. Yeah, dude, I was blown because like I knew about that as well, like you did before. I knew even what it was called, but then somebody was like, "Yeah, make sure make a saturated color and like put it in your Terminator." I was like, "The what? Did you say Terminator?" Yeah, and apparently just that particular like area of like a piece or whatever is just called a Terminator. And I was like, okay.
That is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. I always just thought of it as like I would go, oh, point. That's that weird saturated line that just happens because that's how light diffuses.
Right, exactly. Because
that's a lot of words for Terminator.
Yeah, especially,
I just called it the fun line. That was it.
No, yeah. Well, to be fair, I always called it like the color boomerang. Like the because when you well, to be fair, I learned it from K and KL, but it's if you look at it in like the like slider or whatever, like the color thingy. It makes a boomerang where it's like normal, and then the one in the middle is like more saturated, so it makes like a little like triangular boomerang shape. And then like that's just something that'll like elevate your stuff, is if like you have your two colors and you make like a saturated version of the in between and then put it in between them. And so I've always just like thought of it as like the color boomerang, where it like makes the little boomerang shape, and then like it's the Terminator.
That's valid.
Yeah. But no, yeah, so it's always good. It's especially like important on skin, apparently, just because it breathes life into it. It's one of those things.
Well, we have layers to our skin, so.
Yeah, exactly. And, we got like subsurface scattering and shit. Exactly. It's like why you can see light through our skin and whatnot, and that's why it like exists. But yeah, it just looks good.
It do. I will also mention, as you can see me going over the hair here, my typical technique for coloring hair that is white is to actually fill it in with like a silvery color or a blue or whatever is going to be like kind of prominent for the picture, and then use white itself as a highlight going through it. But in this case, I wasn't 1,000,000,000% sure how I wanted to color for this more highly saturated kind of style that I've been liking to do. So that's the reason why I just filled it with white from the beginning, and then kind of went in with like the platinum blondie yellowy that I was kind of going for to get that look.
Yeah, well, to be fair, you were also trying to do relative colors, right? Because that's what you're saying. You did like the background is like a prominent color.
Girl, maybe. I don't know. That sounds right. I haven't been to art school in a long time. I mean, I never went to art school, but I've had an art class in a school with somebody who knew the words that they were talking about in a long time. So I just went with this.
School with a K, not with a C.
To be fair, as somebody who went to art school is a massive waste of time. I didn't actually learn anything art until I was out of art school.
Yeah, it started you drawing, didn't it?
Technically. As in, like, I had to draw for assignments.
Yeah.
But I didn't actually, like, learn shit until I just got out. And, like, I met art friends that, like, we just drew stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, specifically, Ski. She's the reason I draw.
Oh, I thought you just liked that shit.
No. But to be fair, I actually went, because I went to art college with no intentions of being an artist.
Were you in for games or something?
Yeah, I was in for games. Because my plan was, because I'm a designer, not a, like, artist, right? Wow. And that, I think, technically carries through in my art. I'm a lot better at designing stuff than I am actually illustrating it.
And that's why you got color Daredevil powers.
Yeah, sure.
Well, I mean, I'm not very good at designing, but I like to think I'm a decent enough illustrator.
No, you're a good illustrator.
I'm trying to get better at design, and I've found techniques that help me to to do it better. But like, I've always considered myself more of like an artist who likes sketching and lining. So I love comics. Like that's a lot more of my passion than like full painterly illustrative pieces. I'm not very good at those, and they just I love when other people do them. They just don't call to me.
No,
So
fair enough.
I should still try to get better at it. Also, tossing it out there, anyone looking at the hair will probably notice I put little like cyan and magenta in there. If you play these, you will know that that is clearly reminiscent of that. I also just think it looks really fucking cool. Normally, it looks better and is used in that style with harsher shadows. So you'll put some of those in the harsher shadows. Where it's really dark.
Yes, outline your character.
Yes,
it's good shit. We going strong on the shape backgrounds.
And I was actually going to add like shapes or whatever to show some sort of like power around the hands, but it was like 3 a.m. and I was losing my fucking mind at this point. I mean, I was going completely insane. Like I would blink and fall asleep for a second. And so I had to edit that out, mind you. I needed to edit the parts where I just passed out for a bit. So
you could have left them in, it'd have been fine.
No.
All right, fair enough.
Not funny. But yes, I mean, it's pretty much over. This might be a part where I accidentally left it in for too long. And no, okay, there we go.
All right, we got to adjust the background color, maybe. Is that what you're doing?
I was trying to decide what I wanted it to be. And interestingly enough, I noticed OBS does not capture when I bring up like the hue slider, which I figured it would, but sometimes nothing else does. So if I don't capture the whole screen,
it depends on if you're doing like a specific program, window capture versus like screen capture versus entire program capture.
For sure.
But yeah, I mean, it's fine.
But yeah, at this point, I'm just doing
we can see your little color wheel in the top left corner. It's fine.
That's all we need.
But yeah, so at this point, I'm just kind of applying like finishing touches, deciding if I want to use a little bit of noise.
It looks good.
To add some texture to it. I think in the end I did not keep it, so I brought in one of my favorite manga textures. Actually,
the screen tones.
Yeah, I went for the screen tones, buddy. Ooh. And I was like, I just needed to decide what opacity worked best. So you got to zoom in real close, and then also zoom out to see if it still works. And I was like, do I want to add some lighting here?
Oh yeah, give it hard black highlights on the like cloth and stuff.
Yeah, so I started to, but as you can see, I did not keep it. I was like,
You know what? It's important to just delete everything and go back.
No, I didn't. I did not do that. I think the video just fucked up.
Oh, okay. So Ski just edited her video wrong. It looks good though. I like.
On my end, it was fine. What the hell happened? Now I gotta go look at this video. What the hell?
But no, yeah, this looks great though. The screen tone actually adds so much though.
Thank you.
Like we were saying, like with like Noodle's like watercolor texture, like just like textures, man.
God damn it.
That's this entire.
Yeah, sorry. If you wanted to, you could probably just trim off that part where it suddenly flops back to being at a different point.
No, we're keeping it. That we get to make fun of you for that.
No, don't bully.
We get to bully you for that. Of course, we're keeping it in.
I snip my shit, so you're not alone, Sketches.
Damn. This is what I get for using Windows Movie Maker. Oh no, I made my Speedpaint in Windows Movie Maker. I didn't feel like using the actual editing software I had.
Hey, you know what?
Because I was like, what if I fuck it up?
What do you mean? What if I fuck it up? What do you mean?
I'm stupid, okay? My brain ain't good sometimes.
It's the same tools as Movie Maker. What do you mean?
It was 3 a.m. and I was tired. I was running on 4 hours of sleep and a 10-hour shift. And I was tired, okay?
Okay.
And then
she's scared.
Anyway, so yes, this is my OC, and thank you very much.
Yeah, this one's Nerine, right?
Yes, Nerine.
Yeah.
She was a visored because I wanted to be cool. And then Kubo fucked up what it meant to be a visored. But I won't talk about it too much because I know some people here want to watch Bleach.
I would never watch Bleach. What do you mean?
Personally, I'd sooner drink it.
Ooh. Oh yeah, by the way, I guess for Bleach, is it actually better to read the manga or watch the show?
I mean, if you cut out the filler that isn't good, which is the majority of it, except for 2 filler arcs, I would say just watch it because it is actually very fun to watch. But obviously, if you read it, it'll be faster, and you'll get to see like the progression of Kubo's art from when he had his very zombie powder style to where he eventually got the very clean eye draw fashion style that he gets near the end of Bleach.
Okay.
But no,
fair enough.
I watch it. I mean, I watched it and I read it.
Well, to be fair, I also hear good things about like the opening is sick and like that kind of stuff. So
yeah, opening is good. Ending has good songs as well.
Not related, but watch Kakiguri. It's good.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's good.
Period.
I like that.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, that's our show. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Any of you guys got anything to chat out or say?
Well,
because I know Noodle missed the last outro.
I did miss the last outro, but I'm here now. That's it. That's all, folks.
All right. Noodle would like everyone to know that Noodle is in fact present.
I am here. Will I be next time? Maybe.
Ooh. All right. Well, thank everyone for tuning in.
I'm guessing.
Of course. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Dry.
I'm suffering.
Bang!